talking about cast iron this morning. Pampered Chef has 3 different size cast iron skillets. We have a 10-inch, a 12-inch, and then we have these adorable 5.5-inch, like 1 serving sizes. So this morning I'm going to make a frittata in the 12-inch skillet, and then I'm going to make a couple of quick cobblers to go with it for a little sweet. So what I did was I took some bacon and I just chopped it up into tiny pieces rather than having to crumble it after the bacon is cooked, and I sauteed it in a pan. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an onion to that. And I wanted to show you a couple of quick things. First of all, if you are slicing onions, sometimes you might want to slice them and then peel them before you slice it in order to use our simple slicer, which I'm going to dig out now. And one of the easiest ways that I've found for slicing and peeling onions is to use our little citrus peeler. And so you just take your onion just like you would peel an orange and just peel down in there, and then you can pull off the outside part of the skin. I'm going to take our 5-inch utility knife and I'm going to slice it from tip to end rather than slicing it across the center. If you slice it this way, it's a little bit easier to get the ringlets that you need when you're sauteing. So I'm now going to take off the ends. Now if I were going to use just a knife, I would only cut the end that doesn't have the root ball on it. That way it would stay together. Simple slicer has 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3, depending upon the thickness that you want. I think I'm going to do mine on number 2. You want to do your onions after you do your bacon, by the way, and there are little feet here on the edge so I can hold it onto the skillet and slice right in. And the reason you want to do your onions after is that your onions will sweat. They're very moisture filled, and if you do them before or with your bacon won't end up crispy. So you definitely don't want to do that. And I want the flavor of the bacon fat to be cooking the onions and the peppers that I'm going to be doing. So to do a pepper, quick tip on how to seed a pepper. If you take a pepper and you slice it upside down, just a little bit, just to get enough so that you can get your thumbs in it, you can pull it apart, and it makes it much easier for you to just snag that root ball and just pull that out, and you'll see you're not losing the tip of your pepper. You're not losing any of the pepper when you do it that way. So I recommend, that's a quick tip I learned years ago, gosh, back before I got married. I was waitressing at a breakfast place to help pay for the wedding back in the day, and that was a tip I learned there. And now we're going to use our quick slice, which will line up to the holes on the quick slice. It's a serrated blade, and I'm going to do some mushrooms as well. And you just rock down back and forth. Makes it really easy. You can even do slice up some tomatoes with it because it is a serrated blade. So you can do it as slices if you're doing a veggie tray for entertaining, or you can turn it sideways and make little diced peppers. Much faster than if I were trying to do this with a knife. So I tend to go towards the individual tools rather than a knife. My husband prefers the knife block set, which he, by the way, got as a 60% off item. You can get the entire knife block set, any item or any set, in the month of July of 2020, I should say, because I'm sure this video will be played long after. But any month of the year, you can get a half-price item or a half-price set by collecting $200 in guest orders or having an online virtual party. It's super simple to do, and I'd be happy to teach you how. So we're going to get that sauteing. You'll notice that my eggs, I got about a dozen eggs in the manual food processor here, and I find that that's a fast way when you're cooking for a large group of people, or you're cooking to have leftovers, that might be a really great solution for scrambling your eggs. So I'll show you how easy that is. It has 3 blades in it, so it's perfect for doing basil, onions, salsa, guacamole, hummus, even frozen margaritas when you're camping. No electricity required. So I got that all done. I think I am going to use the quick slice again. I have a little bit of a red pepper left over, and I have a little bit of zucchini left over. So this is kind of, I love egg recipes like this because to get the rocking motion going a little bit better because you don't want the blades to get warped. You want them to line up nicely to the holes, and that way you're not like cutting into the plastic. So you definitely want to do that. I'm just going to dice these. I'm going to turn them in both directions and dice them. So it makes it much easier. Now when you're cutting with a quick slice, or I'm going to show you my onion with my simple slice, you want to make sure that you're getting equal slices. Again, when you're cooking, if everything is the same thickness, your food's going to cook at the same time frame. So now I got everything going. Doesn't that look pretty? Can you guys see that? Yeah, I guess you can. So I got that all going. Now let me show you the onion. So we're going to, oh, I did the onion already. Sorry. So I got that all going. So now we're going to make a drop biscuit to go on top of our cobbler. So the 5.5-inch cast irons, I just literally threw in fresh strawberries that I sliced on my quick slice and some frozen blueberries. And in here we've got flour, salt, baking powder, sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. We are going to add in our shortening. And so this is called a measure all cup. We have 3 different sizes, a 2 cup, a 1 cup, and then a 4 tablespoon baby version. It's good for solids, so you pull this section down and measure the amount that you need. When you're using it for liquids, you turn it over and you use the pour spout. But then you just push. So whether it's, you can see it takes it all off, whether it's shortening, peanut butter, taro syrup, whatever it is that you need to be measuring that's sticky and gooey, it makes it much easier. So I'm using a pastry blender in our 8-cup glass batter bowl, which is tempered glass, so if this falls on the floor, it's less likely to break or shatter. Not that it can't, because it is glass, but this pastry blender is an upgrade from the old one that we had. It has an extra tightening screw on the edges here, let me show you, so that the handle doesn't like twist or move, and the blades are sharper at the bottom, whereas before our other one was just kind of rounded. So this kind of cuts in better. And when you're baking, if you're not a baker, so keep in mind, I am the reluctant chef, so I learned all this along the way. But when you're baking, it'll say to cut it into pea-sized balls, and that's what you're doing. You're cutting in the shortening into the flour before you're mixing in your milk. So I use almond milk. That's what we drink here at our house is almond milk, and then we're just going to go ahead and mix this up just till it gets wet. You don't want to over mix it, and then I'm going to plunk it on top of my my cobblers, and we're going to stick that in the oven when we're ready to stick the frittata in the oven, and they'll bake for about the same amount of time. So if there's any recipe that you're interested in, or you've got some kitchen dilemmas that you're trying to figure out, like maybe you got some fussy kids at the house and you need to try to figure out how to sneak in some veggies for them, or you're looking to cook when you're camping, I've got rock crocks, which are grill safe, as well as dishwasher safe, oven, microwave, you name it. So I've got different tools and different cookware for different uses. So reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you solve your kitchen dilemmas. I am Sue Moulton, your Pampered Chef consultant, but I am the reluctant chef. I learned to cook because I had to, not because I like to, but I love to entertain. So I've got some great ideas for you. Let me know how I can help.